Okay, we are live on the Essential Talent Podcast, and my special guest today is Jonny Love from ASN Media. Welcome, Jonny.
Thanks for having me, Sean.
It's an absolute pleasure. Now, I've got Jonny here because there's this amazing event that is on this week called Vision Week, and it's all about our future. And I am really excited to hear about this because this is bloody amazing, seriously. 6 weeks ago, you talk about vision. 6 weeks ago, this didn't even exist. And what this guy and his team have done is nothing short of incredible. So there's a big intro, Jonny.
No pressure there at all, is there? No one's seen anything yet.
It's incredible, mate. Why don't you share with everybody what Vision Week is all about?
Well, yeah, like you said, 6 weeks ago, or just before, it was chatting to one of our partners we work with pre-COVID, Infrastructure New Zealand, and Paul Blair there, who's the CEO, and Sarah Lang, said, look, we're all in COVID in the midst of it at that point, and saying we really need a vision for going forwards. There's a number of companies, there are a number of organizations that do long-term planning, whereas it was perhaps felt that New Zealand doesn't have a plan going forward. It doesn't or didn't have a plan to come out of this. So the whole point about Vision Week is trying to get everybody together to start the conversation. We're not saying we've got the answers this week, but what we've done is gone out and found a bunch of inspirational people who are giving their vision for what New Zealand could be. And the whole idea is, if we could mobilize our nation of 5 million to get over COVID, you can see the unity that we've all had together. So imagine if we can turn that attention now to what we're going to be in 30 or 50 years, because there's that $20 billion sitting there that hasn't actually been allocated yet. And if we don't get on to getting our vision across what we want as a nation from the rebuild, we're going to miss the opportunity, essentially.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, as we talked about before, I run a little agency, a speakers agency, and I'm just looking at this lineup that you've got, and I go, how the hell did you pull? I know everybody's keen to help, but that's an incredible effort to pull those people together in 6 weeks, man. It's incredible.
Yeah, well, it's we're quite a small team at ASN and Infrastructure New Zealand as well. But between us reaching out to people and through our networks, and I think that the first 21 people we asked, 20 said yes instantly. There's a massive appetite out there for people to want to get on board with this and try and help. Again, nobody's saying they've got the answer. And when you start watching the content tomorrow, you'll see that there's some great ideas. There's some central themes that are going to come through during the week. But the whole point of it is that people watch and then can contribute their vision. So yeah, I mean, it was going to people who are friends of friends. It was going to business contacts. It was then saying, look, we've got X, Y, and Z. Would you be keen to join as well? And between all of that, we, a program like this normally would take us maybe 6 months to produce, and we've done it under 6 weeks. So I think we've ended up with something like 24 interviews, 3 panels with at least 3 people on. And a bunch of other visions. So it's been crazy.
Can you talk us through some of the themes, because you've got different sort of panel sessions? I know you've got Connecting New Zealand, so that's about transport, tourism, and technology.
Yeah, well, if we look at the week as a whole, what the first day is tomorrow is very much a visionary day. It's opportunity NZ. What's the big picture stuff? And tomorrow is a series of interviews and vision that you'll see. So throughout the week, there's a central Vision Week TV program that is shown live every day from 10:30. So that's going to be available on the website, on the Content Hub, so visionweek.co.nz/Content Hub, or we're putting out the link on YouTube, which will be across Facebook and in other places as well. So the idea of this is that it is free and inclusive and open to everybody to have their say. So that central TV show runs through the week. Tomorrow it is the big picture visionary stuff, so lots of interviews and thoughts and vision. Then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we have our panel sessions. Tuesday session, well, all of the sessions are Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. The panels start at 11 o'clock. Tuesdays is about connecting, as you just said. So we've got people like Jolie Hodson, the CEO of Spark. We've got Stephen England Hall, who is Tourism NZ CEO, Adrian Young Cooper, CEO of Auckland Transport. Then we've got on the Wednesday, that's our Sustaining NZ panel, which is obviously more about sustainability. And then the Quality Living NZ panel on the Thursday, which is about wellness, housing, health, all those things that are really important as well. And then the Friday is a bit of a wrap. So the Friday we will have Andrew Grant in our studio, which if you know him, he's from McKinsey. He's one of the speakers on the program as well. But we're going to be talking about some of the themes that emerged during the week and talking about the impact that comes next. And one thing I do want to get across to everybody is that we are gathering all the information that we can. So every person's comment or submission you make to us or email that comes through to us will actually make a difference, because we're going to report on all of that using hopefully a research partner that's coming on board to pull out those centralized themes and pull out what people are saying and what's important to Kiwis, and that could be in different regions or wherever it is. So therefore, it really is important that the more people get involved, the more diversity of thought we'll have, but also the more representation from the country we'll have.
Anybody that's watching this, and there'll be a lot of people that will tune in later, obviously, if you can get word out about this, whether it's sharing the video that we've just done or just emailing someone, because the whole reason I started Speakers Agency was that I know the power of sitting down and watching a really great keynote or talk or conversation. It can literally change your life. And there could be something across that week that just makes you go, yeah, I got it.
There'll be multiple somethings, I guarantee you.
Yeah, exactly.
Watching it, there are some brilliant people saying some brilliant things, which have opened my mind in a couple of areas. And I think a lot of it is stuff that potentially you know about, but you just haven't thought about. Does that make sense? So it's making a few connections. So the other great thing is that we're asking people to get involved, and that can happen in a number of ways. So the easiest is to watch, listen, and engage. So watch the TV program, listen to what you hear, get on social, get on our forum, talk about it, give your opinion. But then there are a number of side events that are happening now. So you can see on our homepage, there's an event calendar where people are setting up live webinars. They're hosting their own events to talk to people, live presentations, all that sort of stuff is now happening, which we're listing and promoting out on people's behalf. So yeah, it's really taking on a life of its own, which is brilliant.
Oh, this is incredible. I mean, this is what I see happen. You know, like obviously we've never had a pandemic before, like this scale. But this is amazing how some people just respond. They get creative, they get innovative, and suddenly you've got something like this. Like this, people, you've got to go and check this out. This is absolutely stellar. It's incredible what you've done. Now, before you go, I want you to, and I know that you're probably a bit shy about this, but I want you to tell us a little bit more about ASN Media, because you've done a bloody good job. So tell us, what's that all about? What do you do? Obviously you do it, which is amazing.
Well, it's the first time we've done something like this. You know, the buzzword at the moment is pivoting, isn't it? So, you know, we traditionally are a industry specific new style program maker. So what we do is video content specifically telling the story of a particular industry or sector. So we work with industry bodies to tell that story. So for example, we've done TV programs with the Australian Food and Grocery Council, doing one with Food Industry Asia about the food industry across the whole of Asia, which is coming out next month. Working with Infrastructure New Zealand, which is how this all came about. But we really do a bunch of things around video content mainly. But yeah, when Paul came to me 6 or so weeks ago and said, we want to do a visionary event, we want to do a Visioning the New New Zealand Web Summit. What do you think? Then yeah, we just put our thinking hat on and just thought, well, how can we make this happen on a tight budget? Oops, sorry, my phone ringing. With a small team. So hence why this inclusiveness sort of piece came about, because one, it's important to get everybody involved, and two, we had to make it as easy as possible for that to happen. So yeah, it's gone from nothing, and we've now got people like Jacinda Ardern telling people to get involved. So it's an incredible ride in the last 6 weeks.
It's a real credit to you, Jonny, and your team. Anything else that we need to know before we wrap it up?
Probably, but there's a million things running through my head before we launch everything tomorrow. So I've probably forgotten something. But I mean, just go to the website. I would say, that really is the hub of everything that's happening. And as I say, I implore people to get involved, because every single comment will be heard, and we're not shying away from that. There's been some very diverse opinions already, as you can imagine. So there is no right or wrong answer.
Hey, Jonny, truly inspiring. Wish you all the very best. Go to visionweek.co.nz. Thank you so much for your time, sir, and I'm sure it's going to be absolutely brilliant.
Cheers, Sean.